Y'all want another video?
Da 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 da. It's the Mat&Mar Show. It's the Mat&Mar Show. Boop. Yeah.
It's gonna change every week, I guess.
Every flipping week. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Matty Rants.
And Jamar84 here once again. How y'all doing?
Yeah. We want to thank you so much for joining us in the Mat&Mar Show, episode 2.
Thank y'all so much for showing episode 1 so much love.
Yes, you did. We were kind of okay, cute views. We've got a lot of questions in, which was really, really great. So remember, if y'all want to participate in the conversation, the kiki, the gag, the sugar ray of it all, baby, you know what to do. Go down below, not down below, but go down below and find the email address. That's askmatnmar. That's an N. In
Only
between M-A-R. It's spelled out for you, babies. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Just copy and paste.
askmatnmar@gmail.com. Send us those questions here. Again, don't be concerned if it's too personal. We keep everything pretty much, what's the word? Anonymous. There we go. We're not going to give your tea unless you ask us to.
One of y'all tried it and sent a question an hour ago. Know who you are.
We have to put that question in late. That's going to be next week. That will be next week, baby. But you need to submit it to us. I want to say before Thursday morning, to be honest with you, because Wednesday night we went over all of these.
We start going over these.
And we were trying to get ourselves together. So the Thursday girls, I would tell you, if you send it Thursday, it won't be on until the following week, okay? So make sure you send those questions in. Don't be afraid to do what you got to do when you ask those questions. A lot of people asked us some personal stuff this week.
Oh, baby.
And me and Jamar are very much ready and prepared to answer these questions. So we're going to try to go through the small ones as quick as possible because some of these stories, Oof. Okay. And a couple of the stories that I'm going to read today, I'm not going to read the whole thing because of reasons that I was asked by the author of those stories that I know to be true. So we're just going to be good and try to get it out. And again, y'all can respond in the comment section what you think about some of these questions, what you would answer, as well as how you would feel. You never know who you're going to give good advice to, okay?
Yeah, help each other out.
We all are living. Yes, we all have flaws. We all are living people. We all make mistakes. We still push through. You get up every day, kids. Every day, and you keep pushing forward. I'm a living testament to that.
Baby.
Child, as much drama as I be facing, please.
If only you knew.
That's why Jamar's my friend, okay? Because he can handle all my snack, crackle, pop, Rice Krispies. But he also knows that the sunshine is about to come as well. So this is just a little snag in the direction, but, just a little raw about it.
We got things happening for the both of us, thank God.
Yeah, but we're making it through. Best friends, we're going to get through this. This is also a clothing company in case y'all are nasty, as I did in my other videos. So let's go ahead and get it together. And look them up, too. They have some really good jeans. All right. So the first one comes from our fan in Brazil. Hey, Paula. The question is, my question is about the finale of RuPaul Drag Race AllStars 3. Oh, we're going back to AllStars 3 again.
I don't even know what that is. What is this AllStars 3 y'all keep
Who
talking
is
about?
that? Where did she come from? Okay. Anywho, do you think that the queens voted for Kennedy and Trixie and not Kennedy and Shangela because they wanted Kennedy to win for sure? After all, Trixie never won a lip sync. So in that situation, Kennedy would have a chance to win. What do you think?
Long story short, because I was listening to somebody talk about this before, they felt
came in like a wrecking ball.
They felt like Kennedy was probably a good chance to beat Trixie because they didn't want Trixie to win. That's a theory I've heard. Then I've also heard that they put Kennedy there because they knew that that Trixie would win because Trixie has been doing so much better than Kennedy in comparison. Mm-hmm. So, honestly, I felt like they picked Kennedy because he had the best speech for the Q&A. That's just that part. And I think they assumed that everybody else was going to pick Shangela, so they didn't need to pick Shangela. And then everybody just ended up picking Trixie.
I don't think that they picked Kennedy because I thought she was going to win the lip sync, to be honest with you. My whole theory is they picked her because she had the lower track score, and even if Trixie didn't do well in the lip sync, they were still going to give it to Trixie anyways, in my personal opinion. Again, not taking away from Trixie winning this crown, as people like to place in my comment section like it's true, and it's not true. We never said that.
We are fans of Trixie Mattel. I repeat, we are fans of Trixie Mattel.
That's it.
Okay?
That's it. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Sheesh.
I swear, because it's almost
Y'all
like
were mad?
y'all were acting like because we weren't happy about it that we were hating on her, and that's not the case. Girl, I don't get happy when someone gets a promotion at a job that doesn't deserve it. So, you know, is that attacking? No, it's not.
No.
That's my personal opinion. But okay, good for them. Awesome. But yeah, so to end that, there we go.
That's the thought.
No more All-Stars 3 questions, everybody. We love you, Paula.
Please.
But
I ain't gonna say
when I say I'm over the season, I'm over the season.
Just throw
Season
the whole
10
thing
is
away.
like
We're here in the
completely
season
washed
10.
my
We're in the
palate
now.
now.
We're in the
So I'm
now.
all about season 10. Talk about season 10 with me, honey. But no more than that, okay? All right, the next question. Hi, Matthew and Jamar. If you guys had a chance to change a point in history, who would you save from death and how? I ask this because I have a dream of saving Elvis from death, Back to the Future style. Love that movie, by the way. I didn't like the one where they went
What's
west.
a DeLorean?
That's sad, baby.
Oh.
So, what do you think about this one, Jamar?
If I had to save somebody, that's very difficult. I'd say it would be a toss-up between Michael and Whitney because I was such big fans and I've always wanted to see the two of them in concert. As to how I would do it, ooh.
So, bring it back. So, you would save 2 entertainers. Nobody important in history that you would save. Then again, I think to myself, because if I wanted to save Martin Luther King Jr., what if his death was important in order to have the civil rights movement move forward?
See, that's what I didn't want it to get too deep.
See, that's why this question's very, like...
I didn't want to get too deep with it, because I was like, okay, what if I say Whitney, then it's like, well, is she still, hopped up on that ooh-wee? Is she still just going to go, shortly thereafter? Would it, I don't want to make it too deep, so I try to make it simple.
So, I'm going to give a personal one, and I'm going to try not to get emotional with this. But if I could change history, I'd probably bring my mom back. Like, TBH, on a real note. It was sad. She died of ALS. It's a horrible disease. I wish I could go back in time and whatever caused it to happen, whatever case may be, like, found a cure or was able to extract it, saved a whole lot of other people in the process. Yeah. Like, that's...
Is that the disease that people were doing the ice bucket challenge
Yes,
for?
that's the same
Okay.
disease. So when that challenge came out, my mom was diagnosed, and that's what made it even more horrible for me because people were doing it to be funny, and I was like, this is something where someone literally dies inside their own body. Like, they lose control of every muscle in their body and more than likely end up suffocating themselves to death. True story. So she fought for a while, but personally, yeah, I would totally bring my mom back. And at the same time, I'm not supposed to feel that way because of my Christian faith. But yeah, that would be my choice for sure. And please, y'all, don't take it like, oh my God, Maddie, I've dealt with it. It'll be 7 years this year, and I'm still getting stronger every year, but it is tough. So that'd be mine.
It's coming. Because it's a mom. It's coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, child, it still hurts. It still hurts, child. It still is like it's still very raw. Like, literally, my shirt says it. It's still very raw for me. So I don't play with people when they do this. My family member died or a friend of ours died or something. I don't play with people like that. I don't think that's funny when people do that stuff too. I'm always like, stop what you're doing and pay attention. Because what they're telling you is something very deep and important. They lost someone that meant the world to them. And we all may have felt that at one point in time. Maybe a dog, maybe a cat, maybe something like that. But that was my mom. So, that was a big deal for me. So...
Well, I'm going to assume that she... I don't even really want to give an answer now. Yeah, what can I do about that? But since she talked about Elvis, I'm like, oh, okay, let's make it in the form of entertainers. I'd bring Michael back because I just really wanted to see him in concert growing up, and I was robbed.
So you want to bring him back and then keep him away from all the horrible stuff that was happening too? Because you would have to change something in history at the same time. So you would prevent him from getting his hair caught on fire and him playing like he had to get...
Actually, because that was...
They say it was a lie. Quincy Jones said it was a lie.
It was kind of...
Rumors, allegedly. Allegedly, for those watching and get to my poster.
I would, just bring him back and have him be of right mind and body.
All right. So there you go. Those are our answers for that. Thank you so much. I know who sent those. Hugs and kisses to you. All right, next question. Hey guys, ever since last year's attack at Pulse, why am I saying it like that? Pulse. No shade. I'm sorry, y'all. It's coming out weird.
The tongue is not.
Hey guys, ever since last year's attack at Pulse in Orlando, I've carried a small amount of uncertainty every time I'm out at gay bars. I live in Houston like you guys and visit the Montrose area regularly. However, since last year's incident, I have not seen any increase in security at any of the bars. Not to mention my car has been broken into multiple times when I've parked along the street. Honey, that's Montrose. I'm just gonna be real with you. Do you think our bars should use handheld metal detectors at the doors or have more of a visible police presence?
Look, we know this. The time that this question came is so. I don't know if it's ironic. I don't want to think that's wrong.
It's not the same situation.
It's coincidental, but it's still a safety thing. At the end of the day, to where, for those who are living here in Houston, you may or may not be aware that we had an incident last night. Just not even. What time?
We recorded.
Not even 24
this is recorded
hours ago.
Thursday, by the way. So this is Wednesday night that we're speaking of. It's okay, but I just want to correct that. Someone lost their life last night because of a fight that broke out where a man was jumped several times, and then, out of revenge, trying to get those people back that jumped them, drove his car through a crowd of people and mowed them down. He ended up taking out a young man who had just graduated from nursing school, and dragged him on the street and left the car on top of him. I'm getting emotional talking about it again because when you sent me that video, I was losing it.
That's why I was like, you sure you want to see this?
And later died. And honestly, I'm asking myself, where were the police at when they were fighting outside? Why were the owners of these clubs not involved some kind of way of getting these people off the property, stopping it from happening? I could go into further detail about the clownish interview that was had by KHOU11, but that's my personal business with that. The issue is there should have been somebody to stop and say something then and there. Now, we can do that within our own community, but when it comes to situations where a terrorist comes in and is trying to basically destroy us all, lack a few words there, but destroy us all and take us out, we do need metal detectors. I'm going to be real about it. We need metal detectors. Some people can bring in knives, trying to be nasty and all that type of stuff. Could be
cutters.
Could be bipolar, not knowing how to handle their emotions, forgot to take the wrong pill. It was just a placebo. Like, it could be that kind of tea. So I agree to a certain extent, but I don't want it to be to a point to where it's racial profiling based on the type of people that go into certain specific clubs. Okay?
Everybody should want to do that. Everybody should want to keep their patrons safe, no matter, what demographic you're tailoring to.
Yes, and I don't want it to turn into a witch hunt of people, well, he looks like this or he acts like that and da-da-da-da-da. But no, start with police presence and officers who actually give a
competent police presence.
Who give a damn about the LGBTQAI community, okay? All of that. They have to give a damn about us. They can't just be in there like, oh, this is my job. Because they won't care when something happens. And I've seen that happen many times before. Many times before. And the metal detectors is not a bad idea. I mean, hell, they have it in schools.
They used to have it at 20. I don't know why they stopped.
Well, 20 is closed down, boo.
But I'm like, well, why didn't they just bring that concept to the other places?
Well, because, people are not all the way there just yet. But yeah, that's to answer your question. We kind of agree, but to a certain extent on how it's done and how it's handled. Okay. All right. So I think this is you.
Yeah. You want to do? I'm gonna read this one.
Is that it first though? Hold on.
Well, it's not it, but that's how you have it here.
Oh, okay. I did that. Oh, okay. So we're okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going.
All right. So next question.
All right. This says, "Hey, Matty and Jamar, just wanted to say that I love you guys and I love watching your videos. We love you too.
Hi.
This is Rat Boy from Instagram."
Well, hey, Rat Boy. Oh, my God. So, Rat Boy, let me just give you a quick shout out. I see you every time you come into the room because you're the only person with that name. And thanks for being such a sweetheart and a good fan. I love and appreciate you, baby, okay? So what's the question?
I wanted to ask you guys what your favorite Pokemon is and what your favorite region/generation is.
So easy.
Also, what is an animal you would like or that you would want to see as a Pokemon? Mine would be either a hummingbird or a flamingo. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Rat Boy. So I'm going to go ahead and say my favorite Pokemon is Vaporeon. It was my first love as a Pokemon fan. When I got my Eevee, I was like, where's the water stone? I need a Vaporeon. because I picked Venusaur as my first Pokemon. So I already had my grass.
Playthrough you
Well,
played
Bulbasaur. Yeah, I had the Bulbasaur because I wanted a grass Pokemon because I knew it was going to go up against Brock,
True.
and I wanted to slightly cheat in that matter and make sure that I passed through the first gym. Okay?
The first 2 gyms you can slide right through with Bulbasaur.
Exactly, and I was all about no, baby. I want to get the ones I want. They didn't have enough grass Pokemon in the first generation, and then this is the one I'm talking about. And I'm also a fan of the Johto region. It's my favorite region. It's actually kind of Johto and Kanto are my favorite regions, but both of those I kind of like. And as far as what animal I would want to see, I mean, they've almost have all been picked. Like, we need to discover a new animal.
Almost. I mean, there's a keychain of a Pokemon.
There's what I know exactly what you're talking about. That's the dumbest thing ever.
It's a literal keychain.
They have one that's a TV that turns into a lamp and a vacuum cleaner at this point.
Well, see, that's a little... He's like a little ghost electric thing, so he can take over different things. So I'll let that pass.
If I were to say an animal, that's hard.
Have we had a platypus?
But it's what I would want to see in the game.
I'm just thinking, like, what have we not had? What do you have to choose from?
Patty Platty, go! Use your ability to freak people out. Several different species. No, maybe, no, they've already had a beaver. They already had an otter. I can't give you an animal, babe. I'm sorry. Maybe a
inanimate object.
Yeah, a shoebox. That throws out different shoes based on the type of types of Pokemon. Pink for fairy, black for steel. I don't know, but yeah, I can't think of any animals that they haven't used already. They've even gone into the prehistoric level at this point.
Here's a possible better question. What would be like a type that may not been put together yet? Like they have normal, fairy, fire, flying. Like what type of Pokemon would there be new that we don't have yet?
I think they've done all of them too.
I don't think they have.
So what can you think of?
Dragon and Ghost.
They already have Dragon.
What's Dragon and Ghost? That's both?
Oh my God. Okay, so this is about mixing the types together.
Yeah,
not just
like a combination.
I'll let Jamar answer the rest of this. I'm out of this Pokemon conversation.
That's why I said
I have a favorite, I have a region. He may continue. Because I'm not sitting on this for 10 minutes.
Oh, fine. Favorite region, Kanto. Favorite generation is the first one for all the nostalgia. Favorite Pokemon? Ooh. Snowrun. It's cute. When this is the first thing that came, I like Snowrun. Not Glalie, not the floating head.
Pause. Are you referring to? Wait. Wait. Are you talking about the small little? I know what kind of person you are. Okay.
What kind of person am I?
A horrible individual.
I think it's cute.
Girl, bye. Okay.
It's cute.
It's a triangle.
It's a cute triangle. Feel a little.
I feel like they're making fun of Eskimos with that, to be honest. But okay, continue. I'm like, why is he in like a little? No, ma'am. Okay.
But
next.
As far as I can't think of anything.
Thank you, Rat Boy. We appreciate the question, but as far as like a type, girl, boo. I couldn't tell you water and fire. I don't know. Like,
I'll just because we can't
mix
think of
it
anything.
up. Like, I can't think.
I tried to give him something. So
we got to that too old point for that part right there. We're just happy when they just remake it. Make it for Nintendo Switch though, but continue. Oof, please, girl. I couldn't. Oh my God, that'd be amazing. All right, so.
Next question. Hi, Matty and Jamar. First, I wanted to say how much I love your reviews of RuPaul's Drag Race. Since I don't have any friends who watch the show, I really like hearing your opinions and predictions about all the things going on. It makes me feel like I'm really a part of the community/fandom.
Thank
you, baby. So, my question is, how did you get introduced to drag, and do you or have you ever performed in drag? Clearly, Jamar can paint for the gods. And Matty mentioned being a dancer before, so I'm really curious.
You first? Go for it.
I was introduced to drag by the ways of Joanna Man and Shanae from Martin and the Joanna Man movie. But as far as like female impersonation for real, actual. My friend introduced me to Drag Race when it was in season 3. The first episode I've ever seen was that crazy Manila versus Delta work. So, and even then I didn't really understand what it was I was watching, but that was like the first time that I saw like professional female impersonators actually in their craft.
Delta was in a flipping t-shirt.
She was in a t
and was wearing it out in a
and
t-shirt.
she had that bracelet and
I'm like, how did she have that little box stored away? Well, I know how she stored it away, but I'm just saying.
We love Delta, but
Manila wore that low.
But
when that feather came around, when she grabbed, I said, now that was not planned, but that was called, when you got it, get it.
Okay.
Now,
and have you ever performed in drag? No.
And by the way, Jamar paints his face. He's not a full drag queen. So please stop assuming, Jamar, when are you going to give us a full look? No, this is it. This is it right now.
My PayPal is, if y'all want a full drag look, send me the
Y'all
coins.
better sell him something. Get his.
Okay.
Have you ever had a corset on?
Yeah. It's not the one. I see why them hoes be like squatting on that untucked. That is not, girl, bye. But yeah, send me them ducats and maybe I'll come up here and give you a.
As for me, I've never performed in drag. The most I've done is put a wig on and wop it around the house and have on some heels with my group of friends. And they were like, dang, Matthew, you can walk on some heels and you can really rust up some hair. Other than that, I've never gone to the full extent because for one, I like my facial hair. For two, I am hairy and that is a process. And I am not about to, I buzz my body alone and that's already difficult. I don't go past the leg area here, baby. Yeah. So, for me, I enjoy my somewhat masculinity a little more than I enjoy the drag aspect, but I have a real respect for drag. As far as being introduced to drag, my first introduction was To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmore. What a way to be introduced. That was before RuPaul got her teeth fixed. And, be real.
I just thought about it.
You just thought about that.
No, I thought about since Vanessa went home, be like, little Latin boy in drag.
Why are you crying? Oh, we missed that opportunity.
Dang.
Little Latin boy in drag. Why are you crying? Oh my God, that was so for that episode. But it's okay. If y'all watch this, you caught that joke. But yeah, Tu Wong Fu did it for me. And as far as drag queen, you wouldn't believe who the first one I saw was. Tommy Ross.
Really?
Absolutely. And I still think of her as a legend in my eyes.
She was like, what, Miss Gay Texas 1993?
I just know. I remember her being at a performance. She was at a performance one time. She was at Big Yo's a long time ago. And she came out and did this number. I think it was India Ari.
Oh, and she's good for giving you an O'Neal Soul
was gagged because of how she took the performance and she just made it into something else. And I was like, wow.
She gives you good mouth.
So yeah, totally, those are my experiences and that's how I feel about it. I have a huge respect for the art of drag, so whenever we're making comments about it, it's not about us just not knowing what's going on. Trust me, I've been backstage, I have helped a girl sew up, I've been in people's presentations for pageants, honey. So please don't do that. It's love, hate, and all laughs at the same time, okay? Nothing's to be taken serious, but yes.
It's just drag.
As you all like to say, but you know, you don't mean it.
It's, you can just read off the page.
So we were asked a bunch of questions, and there were 6 of them, and we chose 3 of those 6 from a particular individual. So if you hear these questions, this is from you. Name 3 things you love and hate.
Chicken, Kool-Aid, commas in my bank account. Those are 3 things that I love. 3 things that I hate.
Is that your tagline onto the new housewife of whatever show that you're joining? Chicken, Kool-Aid, and commas in my bank account. Like, that's literally a tagline for somebody. Fuck you. That was terrible.
I said what I said.
Okay.
I'm just going off the top of my head. I ain't trying to give it too much thought.
All right.
3 things I hate. Last week's finale. Calories outfit from beginning to end.
You're just doing recent stuff. It's like, what did you eat yesterday? As well as stuff that happened last week. But go ahead.
And unsuspecting pending charges to my account.
Oh, God. Yes, I know that's real.
Woo!
I hate those Gmail notifications. Okay.
Yeah, that was off the
3 things that I love. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so I want to say I love sorbet. I love lemonade.
The album or
No,
the drink?
the drink. And it has to be like freshly squeezed, real freaking lemonade, okay?
Not Country Time?
No, give me that Chick-fil-A kind of lemonade. Mm-hmm.
What about the Raisin Cane lemonade?
They're all right.
It's freshly squeezed, I think.
Yeah, but they use like Splenda, not real sugar. And then what's my third thing that I love? Oh, cartoons. Love them. Like, I can watch them all day long.
I'll never be too old for a good cartoon.
Yeah. Sorbet is my go-to, like, dessert when I just want to feel, like, horrible about myself and eat and get really chunky for the moment until I, like, go to sleep and lose all the weight.
It's your cheat food?
It's stupid cheat food, okay? Baby, I'll go to Kroger's and get, like, 5 of them. 5 little pints because they're always on sale for $1.50. Lemonade, it's something to do with my past and my family and something that I just, like, love. Me and my mom used to love lemonade. So, yeah, lemonade. She was more of an Arnold Palmer girl, but I was still like, lemonade. And then, of course, cartoons, because cartoons have been my safety net to go to as a child growing up, and they're still my safety net as an adult. When I'm feeling down, I can turn on some American Dad, and I can laugh my worries away. Good morning, USA. Okay?
Shout out to Pauline.
Things that I hate. Punk stuff. And when I say that, I mean dudes in particular in the gay community that try to do the most, be the most, start fights, do the most extra things on the planet just to get attention, but then cry victim later. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. I can find somebody just like that when I go out and go, I can't be around her. 2, I guess, I don't know. What are a lot of things I hate?
Just off the dome.
Sometimes I hate it when I have things in my head that I feel someone else should already know what's going on and they have no idea what's going on. Jamar knows this for a fact with me. I assume he's on the same page as me, but he's not half the time because he's like, you didn't tell me. And I get so frustrated.
Can I take some of the things off of my hate list and put that on my hate list? When people assume I speak English, I'm not Jean Grey. I cannot reach your mind.
I just feel sometimes people need to be on the same page. But I've learned to get over that. But I can tell you it's a pet peeve of mine when I've hung out with someone for like a week or 2 and then they're just not clicking with it yet. So it's really hard for me to get over that. But yeah. And what else do I hate? Everything. No. No, I hate people who deflect from racism, homophobia, and anything of hate like that. People that know they're doing it and then play like they're not doing it. And then do this whole, you're just using the race card, or you're just saying that because you're gay. Oh, burns me alive on the inside. It's so hard for me to walk away from someone with that. I just want to like reach out and just yank them. So yeah, those are things that I hate and love. Mines were very specific.
That was close.
I'm glad you know I could reach you at any time, sis. Okay, the second question was, what do you look for in a man?
Down to one single thing?
We gotta roll through these 2. Yeah, what do we look for in a man?
Just for the sake of time,
Quick.
loyalty.
Loyalty? All right, Kendrick and Rihanna. Like, that was a surprise. Me, yeah, loyalty, honesty, somebody who is not sloppy looking or just how they act in general, and someone who's, I need someone who's very, I want to be swept off my feet, but not necessarily with the things that they could offer me, but just how they speak. Does that make sense? Like, they got to have some kind of swag to them. Like, when they're flirting with you, everything makes you just go, what? If I have to look down, you have done me so much, because my head is up all the time. Mm-hmm. But if you can flirt with me, and I feel like, oh, this is going somewhere, and it's just not about some bull, and this cat is speaking some real stuff, and I look down, you've got me, line and sinker. But it's very hard to make me do that. So, and the third thing, is sex important in the relationship? Yes.
Oh yeah. But
I've been in a sexless relationship before, so it is important.
I'll say yes, it's important, but I want to preface it by saying also, just what works for one person doesn't work for everybody.
This is true.
So it's important for you to communicate with one another and figure out what, you like. Because you may have did the jackrabbit, with somebody. Other person may not like that. So you have to communicate, okay? But yes, it's important. Once you get it together, get it together.
So, and y'all, if y'all are in a sexless marriage or a relationship, please don't take what I said like, Matthew, you're not really speaking from that, whoop, 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 whatever. I'm not really going there. I'm just saying that I've been through that, and personally, it is important at a certain extent, for me at least. So if it's not for you, I get it. But at the same time, you shouldn't base a relationship on sex in the first place.
You shouldn't, because then if that's all you have, like once it's over,
it's gone.
Then what? Now, do you look at him and you're gonna be like disgusted?
I think you didn't put one of these questions that I needed you to put in there.
The Alabama, you was right there.
No, it's this one. That was the one that our.
Oh, that was in yours.
Yeah, right. It's right there. Oh, it's right there.
Oh, so you already?
Yeah, I scrolled through them all, Jamar, and so it wasn't in there.
That has to be there.
That's not the one, because it's not the one, because it would have had a whole nother end to it.
No, because I just got it from there.
Oh, well, all right.
I got it, girl.
I asked him to be there and see what he does. This is the things that I hate, okay?
And it was right
he
there in his
thinks
face.
he's so right.
Was I wrong?
I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, Matty and Jamar. I have kind of a serious question when it comes to young love about 18 to 21. And see, no, how fast is too fast? This is interesting.
Okay.
I've been with my boyfriend, 21, and let's call him Jay, for about a little over a month by the time the next video goes up. Happy birthday, by the way, to him, or to y'all's relationship. Okay. We have the... Oops, where did I come from with that?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm reading so fast. Okay, we have this insane connection and get each other so well. The first time I met him, we talked for hours without thinking about doing anything else. We talked about our aspirations, personal lives, what we've been through, exes, dysfunctional parents, drug addiction, because we both used to be abused certain drugs. Don't do that. Alcoholism. Don't do that. Because we both have struggled with drinking when we were younger. And how old are you? See, y'all, stop growing up so dang quick. Favorite movies, colors, music. Found out we basically lived the same life in different houses. We went on a date later that night to go see Black Panther, good date movie, and been together since LOL about a week ago. We started talking about getting a place together because he and I need to get out of our parents' house. They're unhealthy environments for us after so long being in healthy, productive ones. We both had our own places prior to meeting each other, and after him and his ex broke up and he had to move back into his parents' house, and after I lost my job, I had to move back into mine. They've been toxic environments for us, and we both see it for each other. If the reason we want to get an apartment together is because we don't have enough money to get one on our own and to get out of a toxic environment, would you still say it's too early? And yes, Matty, I know you love giving lectures to me, but I know what you say is the truth, and I need one honest person besides Jay right now. Love you guys. Okay.
Oof.
I know who this is.
Yeah.
My drag niece daughter. I know who you are. Love you to death. We had a conversation on the phone in reference for something like this a little while ago when you were talking about something completely much more deeper than this. Now, this situation here, I'm going to speak from my own experience. Mm-hmm. I got this. I'm going to give y'all a story about Matthew. And it's going to be a quick one so that way I answer this question. I moved in with this guy who did not have anything to his name, fresh out of jail. Let's get that straight. All his clothes were in a trash bag. I moved him in. We worked together. I helped him get a job, helped him get a car, did the whole little rent and kibitz. Now, I had my own issues with him, and he had his own issues with me. The problem was that I rushed into something that we only knew each other for a week or so before we moved in together. And I already had the place, so I moved him in with me. Way too quick. You've only known this guy for I don't know how long, and if he's watching this, no shade, Jay, but I'm just being honest and frank with you. You need to really think about the step you're going to take. You're going to share bills, responsibilities together, things that cost you money, cost you your credit, things that are really going to affect you in the future. So what happens when one of you doesn't want to be with each other anymore after only knowing each other for so long and figuring it out once you've lived together that this is not what you want? One of you is going to get stuck with that bill. One of you is going to get stuck with the bad credit. Or both of you will have that. Now, you're young and you can always fix those things, but honey, that stuff stays on your record for a good little minute. It's hard to get that off of there. It's very hard. Think about the long-term effects of what you're about to do when you've only known each other short-term. Your situations are dire, so everything seems urgent to you right now. He just left his ex and moved in with his parents. They were living together. Please think about that. How long were they together? Why did they break up? What were the reasons for this? Does he just need another place to stay because he doesn't want to be with his parents anymore? No shade, Jay. I'm just saying.
That's a definite problem.
Now, you Miss Thing, I understand your situation. I know what you're going through. Of course, this is young love. We found love in a hopeless place. Rihanna track 2. I don't know. I get that. However, if you're moving in because this seems more convenient to you to get away from your parents and this has nothing to do with the love that y'all are finding with each other, you need to stop it. Personally, I say you give it a couple more months before you even think about moving in with each other. Yes, it seems like a toxic environment and oh my God, it's so crazy. Y'all plan stuff then. Y'all plan weekend trips. Y'all do stuff like that right now. Okay, but as far as you moving in together and getting a lease and it being more better for you because both of you put together can pay the rent, that means that both of you can't afford to live together. If only both of you together can then afford to live together.
God forbid somebody lose their job.
You have to live separately first before you can have someone be with you and then it'd be like a conjoined force. Because sometimes that stuff does not work out in your favor, baby, and it can ruin way more relationships than possible. That's my opinion on the matter. Boom.
And I echo everything. Take off the rose-colored glasses, baby, because
I've been there.
It's because you're young.
You do not want to do it. You don't want to do it, but at the same
time, those things ruin relationships.
I get what you're going through, but give it time.
Wait a little bit, because baby,
at least 6 months.
That's not what you want. You don't want them troubles. Because then, if y'all have relationship troubles, then it's gonna start affecting your roof over your head, your food, and your fridge.
Now, let you find out that he has an issue with you not wanting to move in with him anymore, and he finds himself talking to other people. I saved you.
Then you just saved that. You saved yourself all the months of rent you was gonna still have to pay.
Because it sounds like
all them utilities.
He's more in a situation than you are based on his previous living situation with an ex. That's me. No shade, Jay.
You don't want to be number 2.
But Jay, I don't know you like I know this one. And for the one I'm talking to, baby, my little lovey-dovey bird, you're still young, sweetheart. You still have a lot more room to grow. I'm going to lecture you because I'm an old bitch and I don't play that shit, okay? I'm not old, but you know, I've lived, all right?
Say the B word.
I said it. They tried to demonetize us last week. They still pushed it through. So here we go. Bish, wait. Give it a second. Get to know him a little bit better. Everything seems so dreamy and rosy right now, but I promise you.
It's not.
You're going to find things that you do not like, and you need to know if you can handle them, girl. There you go. Next question.
Okay, so, hey, Matty and Mar, I hope this message finds you well. I have found myself in an uncomfortable predicament, and I was wondering if you two can help a brother out.
Here we go.
We're going to try. I am 25 years old, from Birmingham, Alabama. I have been in a relationship with a great guy for about 6 months now.
Oh my God, I used to live in Birmingham, but okay.
At around 3 to 4 months in our relationship, I noticed that my feelings for my boyfriend were not as strong as I wanted them to be. My lack of feelings speak nothing on his character because, like I said, he's an amazing guy. I, being my crazy analytical self, started to wonder and think of reasons as to why I may have felt this way. I finally started to believe that I was not over my ex. Since I was 22 years old, I was in an on-again, off-again relationship/situationship with a complete a-hole. This ended like 2 days before I met my now boyfriend.
Oh, it
which
always
is already a sign.
Yeah, that always happens. Oh my God. Okay, continue.
Unfortunately for me, I fell in love with this fool when I was 22. My ex and I work at the same hospital.
So y'all work together? That's another negative, go.
Oh, and I will often see him walking around the hospital, and I literally feel like my heart falls to the floor and the air sucks out my lungs. Girl.
Well, you should be a writer.
I am literally shooketh Every time. The reason why I am so concerned is because it hurts me so much that I could possibly still have feelings for a person who treated me so poorly. I care for my boyfriend so much, I really do. I do not want to hurt him, but I know there is no way of talking to someone about this without hurting them. He's a wonderful guy, but do we think he's not the wonderful guy that is meant for me? Do we think that my feelings will develop later? I am welcome to any and all suggestions. Help. Honey, let me tell you something. This is, again, when you were very young. Just because, I think you only are feeling that way because that's like one of your first loves. You were young, it's puppy love. But you acknowledge that he treats you like trash.
Let it go.
You don't want that. You're thinking of all the good stuff and whatever may have happened in that relationship, but you also know that he's an a-hole.
It go.
Those feelings, just shrug them off. But he has to see them every day, so it's not.
I said this statement to Alex Rogers in reference to a situation that happened. If you are a pig and you roll in poo, and you run away from that poo, and the poo calls back to you, a pig will hollow back into it. Don't do it.
Don't ruin a good thing.
You got somebody really that's interested in you. You need to take your focus off of the past because your past is just that, the past. Let it be in the past. Look forward here. Don't turn around, baby. That's not what you want to do at this time. So I'm going to say that we're going to be really short with you on this one.
Don't ruin a good thing.
And you working with your ex, bish. No.
That makes it a little bit harder. So it's like
you're going to have to develop a professional relationship with him, but not a friendship. Professional work relationship, I again say not a friendship. Do not let them start inkling back in. If you only knew how many exes still try to get in my phone and say, Matthew, we need to do this all over again. For why? It did not work out the first time. A lot of stuff happened. I had some guy who used to talk to me like I was dirt. No.
So yeah, just the guy that's with you is treating you great. You already know that this person treats you like garbage. Let him go.
Focus on the good because that makes me feel like you may be possibly attached to negativity and you don't need to be that person. Do not. Pass go. Do not collect $200. Where's Marla? Where's that one?
Marla.
That's not it.
We're going to edit this out. I don't think I have her in mind.
Okay, so while we're pulling that up, because I'm not a fan of dead air and I'm so not editing this video, thank you so much for your questions. This is already going to take a long video. This is definitely going to be over the amount of time that we're supposed to have, and we're supposed to be on Instagram Live right about now. But you got it pulled up now?
Keep talking.
You don't have it pulled up yet?
Keep on
Okay,
going.
so
I'm looking for Marla Hooch.
Okay, there is one thing I definitely did want to talk about. This is kind of a long story, but I'm going to summarize it up real quick. It has to do with okay, good, you found it. Never mind then. So let's get on to it. All right, now a few years ago, I met a girl. We'll call her Marla Hooch because that sounds like a adorable name for the person you're about to talk about, who had a very similar story as me. Raised in the South, but moved to California, got married, and had a couple of kids. She, like me, didn't have any family in town, and I wanted to add her to my mom group so she could have support as a mom and meet new people. Fast forward a year, and she started to act very distant from me, acting weird, and I just knew something was up. I asked her if anything was wrong, and she denied it. She even started flat out ignoring me when we would see each other, but make a point to be overly nice to our mutual friends. I asked her again, and she again denied anything was wrong until one day she wrote me finally admitting she found me rude and competitive, and that it should have been clear our friendship had run its course and we have nothing in common. Okay, girl, even though we have dozens of mutual friends now, the ones I introduced her to, and our husbands even work for the same company, I genuinely have no clue what she is claiming with me being rude and competitive, and neither do any of the few friends we have that I've confided in about this. This has been a year or so ago now, so I'm over her ass, and I would never trust her enough to be close to her again, but she added me on Instagram recently, likes all my pics, and occasionally messages me. How do I handle this? I think she's an immature, insecure mess. She's one of the most sensitive and odd people I've ever met, but we have many mutual friends. How do I handle this? One fed up mama. Mama?
She mad for some reason.
Okay, let me tell you something. because again, we're going to answer these truthfully, but I cannot stretch these out longer than they already have because we kind of went on with the last parts. I have situations where I have friends who we share mutual friends, but we're not cool with each other. Mm-hmm. You be an adult about the situation. Have your friends. Do what you do. As long as she's not talking about you, you have nothing to worry about. And even if she is talking about you, that means she's a fan, honey, okay? For her to even say all that, that sounds like an insecurity issue that has nothing to do with you. You continue to have the friends that you have. You don't lose those friends just because this thing over here decided that once she got in the clique, she felt some kind of way about you, and now she doesn't want to, like, chill with you like that. As long as it's not affecting your friendships with your mutual friends, don't worry about it. But completely phase her out. If y'all are doing something together and you know she's going to be there, go there. Have a good time. Do what the housewives do. Nice to see you. And then continue on with your day. Like, don't let her bother you, Miss Thing. No, ma'am. You had the group first. Continue to have the group. But don't let your jealousy, not even your jealousy, but your the way she makes you feel control you. There we go. Don't let the way she makes you feel control you. Yes, it stirs your guts up, but whatever. She's just being a biah, and she's going to be a biah for the rest of her life. So F that biah and the biah, okay?
Like you said, look, if you've tried to figure out what's the problem is, and she's not willing to tell you, and none of your mutual friends are willing to, echo her sentiments, and they don't understand either, I just say let it go. Just let her be mad. Because ain't nobody got time to be sitting up here trying to read your mind why you mad, and you ain't gonna tell me.
Yeah,
girl,
seriously,
I'm gonna keep living my life then.
Seriously,
I had it up already.
Oh, where was it? It was still over here. Yeah, seriously, though. It's like, for that energy to be wasted on people, child, if I entertain folks who I didn't like every day, it would be something else. It really would be. Okay. So, thank you for the question, One Fed Up Mama. You can handle this.
You got this, girl.
You got
it. Let her be petty.
Yeah, let her be petty, but don't let that affect your other mutual friends again until they start to get involved in some drama that they don't need to be involved in, okay? Now, so this is another question here. Hey, guys. So my question is work-related. It's going to be a long one, too. I'm sorry there is backstory through, though there is a TLDR at the end to summarize the gist of it all. Okay, I'm going to try to read this as fast as possible. Jamar just heard me just do it a minute ago, so we'll try this again. You're very lucky I'm a creative writing minor from college, baby. At the same time, I used to be an editor of my literary magazine. So here we go. I'm a person that in a very easily influenced by. God, girl, you messed up the first sentence.
Please proofread thine emails before you send them.
Because I can't just make my eyes go whoop-de-woo around like some people and then make a new word pop up. So one more time. I'm a person that is very easily influenced by other people's negative emotions. I know this about myself. It is what really made my previous job unbearable to the point that I quit because I realized that I was being the toxic individual and thus making work not pleasant for my coworkers. My mustache is tickling my nose in case y'all are wondering what's going on. Oh my God. Okay. I expect everyone to work at the same level that I do and have had to come to terms with not being the case. That's okay. Okay, you got it. Okay, that's okay. There are A students and C students and even F students, baby. Everywhere you work, that's a fact of life. So I started my new job in business dining. Everything is great and wonderful. People are pleasant and work had just like me. It's fantastic. Then there's one person I work next to. Let's call her Brenda. Brenda toots about her previous job and how she was top management and such. That's cool, but now we are all on the same level because we wanted bomb-ass hours. Brenda couldn't seem to keep up with her station of pizza before getting all her prep done, even though she was top management at a pizza chain. It was a struggle that I didn't understand. Eventually, we got switched, me to pizza and her to salads, where I was at. Brenda now bemoans, okay for the words, that she isn't being properly utilized and can do so much more than salads. Meanwhile, I'm over on pizza busting it out, doing all of my prep plus any other extra stuff management asks of me. That's just how I work. You put in the work to get anything out of it. So as time passes, Brenda starts making snide remarks about me being an ass kisser, not telling management that they're doing too much on pizza station now, and blah, 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 blah. This, of course, affects me into being in a sourpuss mood. I know it's BS and they ask so much of me, but I deal with it because I'm not there to look like a slacker. She's also constant drama starter. She always got her nose in other people's doings. So she brings that negativity to the space, complaining about others slacking or whatever. I try my best to avoid it, but I also don't want to risk getting sucked in by her bad-mouthing me behind my back. So I play along to the best of my ability while still trying to maintain a sunny disposition and not getting sucked into the toxic vortex. It's hard. I don't want to make enemies, but I also don't want to be viewed as the enemy, if that makes sense. I just want everyone to work together and leave petty messiness at the door. To make a long story short, she's toxic AF to folks like me. How do you maintain a good work balance without coming off 100% dismissive of people's BS, especially when they also boast that they're just hateful and a bia all the time to justify their toxicity? I've tried to tell her that it's all not important, but girl, she agrees and then starts right back in 2 minutes later. Like, let it go. Thanks.
Honestly, this sounds like a similar situation to the previous email. If she insists on being a BI and you tried your best to remove yourself from the situation and she is consistently being this BI, I just have to let it go. I got it in my notes.
Okay, I wouldn't, and in my opinion, girl, let me tell you something. You slightly entertain this. But,
a little bit.
But not on purpose. You're just entertaining it because you're giving it validity by you having it bother you so much. So my suggestions to you would be to literally phase her out. Do not pay her attention. Do not give her any more dust anymore. You may need to take it to management a little bit and drop little hints here and there. Like, she's quite negative. It's very hard to work with her. She's quite negative. It's very hard to work with her. Day 7. She's quite unbearable. It's very hard to work with her. She's a negative Nancy, and she's ticking me off. Do what's best for you. But don't you let somebody's negative spirit envelop you, Miss Thing, and stop you from doing what you need to do. You're a hard worker. Continue doing that. You do well at what you're doing. Keep it up. You have a positive spirit. Hold on to that. Don't let this little sour wet napkin over here get into your mix. Please don't.
Sour wet napkin. It don't be always the ones at the job that be hating because you doing good.
And mind you, now all of a sudden, because you're on another station and she's over there, she feels some kind of way. Girl, either way, she's going to be mad about life regardless. So you let her be mad at life and you continue doing your thing. Just do not let it affect you to a certain extent to where it's messing your coin up. Don't let that happen. Next question.
All right. So our next question reads, hey gals, so I'm a Bulgarian drag queen.
Come on, Bulgarian drag queen.
All right. I've been working now for a year, but I've been playing in drag for 6. I started working at basically the only gay bar that has a semi-regular show, and I've only worked there. Recently, I've been approached by other people / club to do gigs, but the problem is that over here, you basically have to be loyal to the club that gave you a start and not work at other places. So the queen that gave me my start said that I can only do one other gig outside of her club, and if I do more than one, I wouldn't be able to come back and work with her again. Now, at her club, we've had some cool shows, but most of the time, it's only go-go dancing in drag, which, what? Which I don't find artistically fulfilling, seeing as I'm not the best dancer, and I don't like giving anything else other than my best when I'm working, and I don't want to do the dancing, only the actual shows. So I tell her that she tells me that I have to do both, and if I want to have some sort of longevity in the game, which I totally understand. However, I don't really want longevity because I plan on moving back to my hometown relatively soon, and there isn't any drag scene there, which is fine with me. At this point, I'm one of her best girls, and she wants to keep me for as long as possible. I just want to do whatever comes my way until it comes time for me to move back. But more than anything, I want to win a pageant that is upcoming in the club that I work at, and I've been prepping very seriously. So I guess my question is, how do I go about doing other gigs that come my way, but at the same time not having anyone have ill will towards me for not being loyal to the club? Should I wait until the pageant comes and then start to do other things after I've hopefully snatched the crown?
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, don't mess up your coin because, and also think about this: when you win that pageant, you're gonna be obligated to do the things that they ask of you to do.
True.
So you may be still stuck at the club anyways.
That's very true.
So I would really think about what your next step is going to be, because if it's not secure where you're going to, where that money's gonna be constantly there, I wouldn't do it. And if you feel like you can go through this pageant and get the crown and still have that title for your name and still be able to maintain going to more than one club, rather than trying to dethrone you from that crown, go for it. But don't mess up your coin. Don't mess up your coin.
Yeah, 'cause those gigs will be there. You probably end up doing more gigs if you have.
Let's be real. You're a drag queen, girl. So it depends on the club, the environment, who's coming in, whether you're gonna get tipped and paid for your performances or not. This is not a 9 to 5. Don't mess that up.
Okay, and secretly, just go wherever works best for you. If somebody else offers you a better coin.
And that's that. Yeah. So I don't think too hard about it. Be smart. You are smart. I can tell, honey. Trust and believe. Do not make that decision on emotion. Think about your coin. Think about your living.
And make that money.
Is that what keeps your lights on? Do that then. Next question. But thank you so much, my Bulgarian drag queen.
Why? So, next question reads, Hey, Matt and Mar. Hey.
Hey.
I've been needing some advice on a situation I've been dealing with my ex-boyfriend.
Oh, Lord.
Here we go. Me and him were together for 11 months and been broken up for a year. We have remained friends because we've had a strong bond and could use the support. Part of why we broke up was because our whole relationship, we were trying to heal each other's pasts while taking care of each other.
And that was where you failed. Continue. Continue.
It took me a while to come to terms with our breakup because it was my first real relationship, which is strike 2. He's about to be 23 and I turned 22 on the 21st. Happy birthday. And
yeah, happy birthday. And at the same time, y'all are young trying to go through all this. Okay, come on. Come on, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. That's my bitter old ass. Come on.
And we have a lot of love for each other still, and we've been through a lot of ish together, like him coming out to his parents, him being the first guy to meet my entire family. He was basically homeless, couch surfing at a point. Throughout our relationship, I had a lot of anxiety over him hurting me because we were also in a long distance relationship. Me being in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, while him being in Virginia. We spend time together as much as we could,
How long of a drive is that?
That's a good distance. That's along the whole East Coast.
Okay. Continue.
We spend time together when we could, but his actions were a bit shady when we were apart, and he'd entertain guys who wanted to get in his pants, and I'd call him out on it, and he would flip it onto me because of being jealous or insecure.
Ooh,
he really hurt me in some ways that I equated to how my family hurt me in the past. So recently, we're talking one night, and he got really emotional and confessed that he cheated on me multiple times when we were together, again, a year after we broke up, and really apologized for his role in hurting me the way he did, and finally owned up to his SHIT.
Okay.
I can say that I've changed because I told him I forgave him, and a year ago, I would have killed him. Our breakup taught me many things about love and life, and I don't have the energy to hate him or anybody or really anyone. Initially, I was mad and still have some questions, and trust isn't all the way there, but I'm also vindicated and glad that we got that closure, and I got an apology that I always needed from him. We both agreed that when things go wrong, we would always lean on each other and not compare each other to, other people. But I really don't want to rush into a relationship with him again because I don't trust him fully. I do, however, want to get to know him better since he's changed, and I want to get to know him to know me, get him to know the new me as well. Do I think I'm handling this the mature way?
No. Okay. I'm mad now.
There's a lot of things you did.
I'm gonna speak to you. I'm gonna speak to you like we're like besties right now, and you told me this story. I'd slap you first. That'd be the first thing.
What you doing, baby?
Not even the palm, bitch. I give you the back of the hand. First of all, okay. Let me tell you something, baby. Once a cheater, always a cheater. It's going to happen again with you. Now, if he's with somebody else, that may be different. But with you, it's going to happen again. I do believe people can change.
He did it already.
But he was doing that the entire time that y'all were in a relationship that was long distance. That was your first mistake. I know people who do long distance relationships and it works for them. Not I, said the pussycat.
Not me either.
Not I. I need to be able to touch you, talk to you, and see you. Because if I can't do any of that and it's not about trust, we would have already had to been
together
for a long time for that trust to be already established. Y'all, again, are very young. Your emotions are still raw. You're still learning things. You are. So, personally, I want you to... Here's what I'll say about giving him a chance again. Being a friend, not in a relationship. You live in New Jersey?
Mm-hmm.
There's gay men out there. They're not bad. I know a couple fine people in New Jersey. Find someone in your local city. Find someone there, please. Yeah, because don't do that again.
He already cheated on you.
Yeah, don't go back into that hole again, sweetheart, because that just seems like another hole into Alice's Wonderland, except it's not a wonder.
And
Small land.
I'm going to tell you, I feel like the only reason that you're trying to tolerate this is because this is the first guy that was your real relationship, so it's familiar, and you're afraid, because dating is not fun. Dating is not exciting.
But it's something else better than you
don't have to be treated like
dealing with
garbage.
somebody who thinks that you don't have any options. And you should never have anybody ever believe you don't have any options. You have options. I don't care what the flip you look like. Everyone has options. You all have something that you can do. So please don't let that be the case. But yeah, drop that off. Leave it at where it's at. If you want to be friends with it, cool. But do not find yourselves in that bubble again because, honey, I see a world of misery for you. I see it in your future. I'm not Miss Cleo. I'm not lying.
It's going to be a rinse and repeat.
Yeah. So, okay. So there you go, baby. So thank you for the question. Take care of yourself first.
Tuck him.
And if you got issues, honey, that you're still working out, you settle those goddamn issues before you get back into anything. You hear me? Don't bring that in a relationship. Anybody who I want to talk to now, with all the stuff I have going on, I'm not bringing them into it, okay? I'm not doing that. Now, if they want to know what's going on and stuff like that, well, here's things that happened in my past. And we'll let it go from there. But I'm not going to make that the forefront of every conversation. It's just not going to happen. All right, this is another question. Hey, guys, I'm a big fan of y'all and absolutely live for y'all's drag race reviews and rants. I feel like she talks like this. Sorry.
I'm about to say, just give her a whole accent.
I'm a 22-year-old woman who has never had a boyfriend or girlfriend, never been kissed or had sex, and I was fine with that up until I turned about 2021 and started noticing all my friends who had boyfriends, some to the point of getting married, and some even having children. It's just hard to curb my jealousy, especially when I know my friends never talked about marriage and kids while we were younger. And yet that's my main goal in life. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying this sounds, it sounds great. It sounds great with this.
I'm like, what?
It sounds really good with this. I don't know. Of course, I
might as well keep going.
And I lived in Alabama too, so you know that's kind of like it
continuity.
Yeah. All I want is to be a wife and a mom. I know I'm young and have plenty of time, but dang, can a girl at least have her first kiss already? Tongue pop. I like you.
Baby, let me tell you.
I like you.
I understand this on a level because, you know, we're in that age group now where people are getting married, having children, and doing all those types of fun things.
And making you feel some kind of way about it.
But it's just like, you can't compare yourself to other people because you have your own journey, you have your own path, you have your own blessings coming. If it's meant to be, it will be. And the time that it's meant to be in. Because if you try to rush it, it's not going to be what you want.
Don't rush it because if you do, you'll end up with somebody who does not love you.
Don't settle just to have a relationship.
You, somebody that's going to waste your time, and then you're going to be even more confused than you already are. Let me tell you all something right now. Having a first kiss is not everything.
It's usually awkward.
My first kiss was gross, okay? My first time having sex was all right. Like, yeah.
It's not as it's glammed up, you know, by way of, you know, the world.
I've had
how
better.
Porn is. It's not.
I've had much better, and you will too. So I say this again: when you find the one, and you give him a little flirt and a little side eye, something a little nice on the side, honey, and he finally gives you a little peck. Oh, I'm reading this one because it's long and I need.
Oh, you already have it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it, baby. You're still very young. Don't let anybody think that you're too old to not have your first kiss and stuff. I know 35-year-old virgins walking around. Okay? So please don't rush it, baby.
Think about it this. If you ain't got nobody, you ain't got to worry about nobody cheating.
And
you ain't
make
got to
sure
worry
they're
about
wearing a
feeding
condom.
nobody.
And you have birth control.
You ain't got to worry about catching Nathan.
Yeah, but make sure you have a condom, you're on birth control or any other medications you can take. Because the last thing you need is that first kiss to be one of your last kisses. Or the first time you have sex with somebody be the last one because now your insides are destroyed or whatever that could happen. So don't rush it. This one is a long one that we're about to read. I may skip some of this because I'm not supposed to talk about some of it as
I think it's in parentheses.
Yeah, but it's really hard to do that as I go through it.
And, well, however you want to, because she gave details that, you know, would be relevant, but it's just really long.
All right, I'm going to try my best here. To the person who wrote this, I'm trying my best to make sure I keep everything in confidence. There may be a whole layer of this I skip out and just go through, but we're running to the end of the show here, so I want to get this out because we talked about this one, okay? Mm-hmm. All right, first off, I love you both. I feel like we're friends and can talk about any and everything. Love you too, babes.
Wow.
Love the idea of the new show as well. I'm a 25-year-old woman. I've gone through a lot these past few years. I've been in an abusive relationship that I ended up getting out of. I also ended up having a child with this person. I left once I found out I was pregnant and cut all ties with this person. My saving grace was a longtime friend. We've always been there for each other since high school. I had cut ties with him for a bit because of the toxic relationship I was in, but we reconnected. I've known him since I was 16, and we've always listened to each other's problems through the years. I was and still am a bit of a tomboy, play games all day, every day, LOL, but we've always only ever seen each other as friends. This time, there was something different. We ended up connecting in a different way. We fell for each other. At this point, this is my son, was a little under 1, and I told him I understood if the fact that I had a baby already was too much for him. And he said, no, not at all. He would do whatever he had to make him comfortable. Side note, he grew up with a bunch of stepdads who never acknowledged him growing up. His mom married one that didn't like him when he was 10. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read all of that because that's a little bit personal. And here we go. I know all of this beforehand. He would buy diapers, wipes, clothes, anything to help me out. I never asked, but if I mentioned it through casual conversation, he would just do it. That's a good man.
Okay.
That's a good man, girl.
People you don't have to ask.
Ooh, those are my favorite kind of people. Okay, so fast forward 6 months later, moving in together. When I say he left everything behind, he did. He flew literally from the opposite end of the USA to be with us. Yes, from West Coast to East Coast. After high school, his grandmother moved over there, and so did he. Everything was perfect. We were living our best life, just being in love. He was helping me raise my son. They had a great relationship. Fast forward 6 more months, I'm at work and get a call no one wants to hear. Something happened to my son. He fell and hit his head. One of my coworkers drove to the hospital. They couldn't help him there, so they did a med flight to a major hospital for emergency surgery. I lost my baby.
I am so sorry, baby.
He was only 2.5 years old. I'm just getting okay to the point of sharing this. Oh, excuse me. With anyone other than family, of course. Speaking of family, mine is close. God, I hate how I look when I start to well up. Okay, get-togethers just about every other weekend. Both sides know each other. My parents and my boyfriend shared babysitting duties while I worked. I would never leave my child with anyone unless I trusted them wholeheartedly. To this day, I still do, but of course, there are people in my fam that feel strong hatred toward him. I couldn't stay in the apartment. Okay. I'm sorry, I had to skip through a couple of it because I didn't want to drop that in there. I know for a fact he would have never done anything to hurt him. His role in my son's life was a father. My problem is I'm back at home with my parents. They suspect he did something to hurt my son intentionally, but I know that's not the case. We are still in contact and love each other, even though it's been extremely rough. I keep that part away from them to protect them. Now, on the other hand, my cousins, who knew him a lot better, don't think he did anything intentionally and support me through whatever decisions I've made. I go to therapy every week, and of course, I'm still learning to adjust. It's hard to keeping stuff away from them, but looking at my circumstances, we've seen each other throughout this time, and my cousins know, but my parents don't. The subject is so sensitive, I'm afraid of what they might do if they were to know. Example, kick me out. They have before, well, my dad anyway. Hate me for my choices, which I'll accept, but I don't want it to come to that point. I know I'm grown, but I really don't know what to do at this point. I'm asking you guys because you're a third party, you aren't involved directly, and I need an outside perspective. Thoughts? P.S. Love you two so much. And Jamar, your makeup looked great.
Thank you, baby. Thank you so much.
Baby girl, when I tell you I send you nothing but my love from the bottom of my heart, because I do not know what that experience may have been like for you, but I have full sympathy and I wish you nothing but the best. And I promise and I hope that everything will turn out fine, but I think it will for you absolutely, okay? Now,
I am with your cousins because I feel like parents I don't want you to look at your parents in a bad way, like they're being bad people for what they're doing. Their perspective is my child is hurting and they don't know this person that you've been with as well as you do. So they're going to think this person hurt my child. So I'm going to have these negative feelings towards them. However, you probably have introduced him to your cousins, so they probably have a better idea of who he is and his character as well. So I wouldn't demonize your parents. They're just trying to,
They're trying to look out for you.
look out for you.
Me and my dad don't agree, honey, and trust and believe. It always turns into I'm just looking out for you conversation. So
they're trying their best, but I definitely
it's
believe
tough. It's
oof.
tough, baby. Like again, I know your parents are set in their ways because that's what life does to people who are older. They are set with their thinking because they've managed to make it through life thus far with that thinking. Totally get it. At the same time, you're going to have to find ways to insert that positive spirit about that person into them because if that's someone who you want to be with for the rest of your life, don't let nobody hold you back on that.
They'll have to get used to it.
You got to do you. You got to do you, babe. But stick with your cousins. Let that spirit of their positivity envelop you to where you're able to handle things better. Run it by people who you've let know what's going on, who have your best interests at heart and who are not messy. And you got to be strong in this situation. But I would start making plans to get out of that house again and be back with the person who you want to be with if you and him haven't talked about that already, personally, in my opinion. Okay?
If you believe without a shadow of a doubt that nothing foul play was going on, then
if you know for sure, then you roll with that, okay? But if you
have any doubt,
then I wouldn't run with that at all. I wouldn't go there at all. If you have any doubt, there's an issue. You should not have none. You should have no doubts. None.
Like if you're still in the back of my head, but what if
maybe
throw the whole man away?
Maybe, yeah.
Throw the whole man away.
No. Don't have those feelings. All right. But thank you for your question and we love you, okay? Honey, this is the longest episode of anything we've ever done.
Jesus.
And we're on the last question.
Wait, we still have one more?
Nope. That was the last one. This is the last one.
Dang, we still okay. You right?
Woo! We're at the last one. All right, and the last one here. Hi guys, I've been following you since AllStars 2 reviews. Both you and Jamar are one of my favorite online duos. Well, you're doing a fantastic job. Thanks, babes.
Thank you, baby.
Anyway, my question is for both of you. No, it really says anyway. Okay, do you remember your sexual awakenings? What I mean is, do you remember the first time you looked at a guy and felt some type of way? Like, was it in a cartoon, from a movie show, someone in real life? For me, it was the guy from the Mummy movie, the one with the shaved head. He was always shirtless, and I think he was like, Mom Ra. No, I added that in there. He wore some type of loincloth. I was like 6 or 7. I told my mom that he looked good, and she gave me a look. Honey, we had it on VHS. Oh, I miss VHS. And as I got older, I would pause it when the guy was on and just beat it. 6 or 7? Oh, as you got older. Okay, sorry.
I'm like, wait. Okay.
Matthew and reading comprehension. Anyway, sorry for rambling. Love you both. Felix. Hi, Felix. Hi. Thanks for the love, baby. First time? All right, let's go there.
Okay.
All right, Monique.
So for me, the first sexual awakening I had was actually in 1st grade. Now, for those of us who are like late 80s to mid to 90s kids, when we were in preschool and the little boys would go to the bathroom and they didn't, just pull the little willy out, they had to drop their whole pants and just expose all the Duncan Hines to the world. So that's when I was just like, you know what? I'm very fond of this sight that I see right here. And, here we are.
Okay.
So he asked for the very first. That was the very first time.
Mine was, okay, it was in elementary school, and there was this guy who went to my school. I don't want to say who his name was because it was a small school, and it was like by class, so I could not say who it was.
I'll say the name.
I won't, but just know that he was extremely attractive, and he was the first boy that got in the class that actually looked like he was like, he hit puberty quicker than others. So I want to say this is like 5th grade going into 6th. And honey, I was like, whoa. But in reality though, the celebrity crush that really did it for me, first movie that I saw that really got me there, Leonardo DiCaprio, Basketball Diaries. I saw it when I was in the 5th grade. I snuck and saw a lot of bad movies that were not good for me. But yeah, definitely it was Leonardo DiCaprio. That was my first time where I was like, oh my God. I went and bought like every book that was about the movies that he was in, just so I could like be that much closer to him. My mom didn't understand that. She's like, "Why do you want a book on basketball? What is that supposed to be?"
Just
like he was a prostitute at that point, like trying to get like money for drugs. You know what I mean? So she was like, "Why are you reading that?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Education.
So yeah, that would be my first sexual awakening. I would say like 5th or 6th grade. I was very quiet about it for the most part because I was afraid of being ridiculed. So yeah.
We all remember those closet days.
Yes, honey.
Everybody,
now. This is it. This is it! I am no longer answering questions until next week. Me and Jamar84 are going to call it quits. For those of you who know what time it is, we're about to jump on this live because we're so 40 minutes late. And talk a little bit more about tonight's episode of Drag Race Season 10. Also, if you didn't catch the review, it's clearly the first one posted before this one. Check out a review of it. I'm going to be editing it right now. And thank you so much for the questions, y'all. I hope you had a...
Keep them coming.
I hope you got some insight. I hope you got a little bit of advice or whatever we could give you, a little bit of details about us and things of that nature. And I hope everybody really is doing well. And please don't be afraid to reach out to somebody. Your worst enemy is yourself, and that can end up destroying you in the process.
Don't get in your own way.
Don't let it happen. Reach out to someone, talk to someone who you feel that you could trust, that is going to understand where you're coming from. It may be me and Jamar, child, but we take that stuff very seriously, okay?
And we'll tell you if you're wrong.
Oh, we'll tell you. I have no problem telling somebody they're wrong. That's one of my favorite things to do. I should have said that's one of my favorite things.
You're not going to sugarcoat, be like, baby, you was being a little stupid right there.
Right, and you could do better, and you know you could do better, because we're all clearly intelligent beings on this earth. So have yourselves a great, great, great rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.